Blessings.
Peace.
My name is Heavenly, and you are in the sacred space of truly heavenly joy. And today I have with me ENA.
Yeah.
So, ENA is my man, and we have a very sacred experience together. And we just want to share a little bit about how we are growing through the wounds that have been left behind from our own experiences before we came together, and how we support each other in this very different experience that's growth-filled on so many levels. So, Ian, would you like to begin?
Well, I'll begin by saying hello to everybody. Peace. So I just want to contribute and show up as far as being a good support and definitely a pillar when it comes to needing support when you're also trying to work on yourself, and how you interact with others and how you take others' feelings into consideration, especially being a provider, because we are parents. So it is also very tender to try to cater towards the other parent. We don't have children together, but yet it still makes it a beautiful balance. So with that, I say that definitely being patient is, I think, the most valuable thing you can do as far as contributing to your partner's growth. Being patient and being understanding to sometimes it's very hard to know what the next person is going through and what point they are at in their journey. And so it's definitely very valuable to be patient and be mindful, and don't try to assume and jump the gun, and just wait hopefully you wait and you say, you know what, I'm here for whenever you want to talk, or whenever you want to say something, or get me to notice something. It's definitely the best way, because trying to force something is not good. So it's best to just to extend the olive branch, but not to push it, not force it. It's up to them to want to come to you. So when they get to that point, they will trust, and you gotta believe the process. You have to trust the process. So definitely being patient, being understanding, and mindful, and are some components. Not just talking. It's good to listen. So
Well,
2
honey,
ears and one mouth for a
great.
reason.
Yeah, you've been doing really great. 2 ears and one mouth for a reason.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I said that. That was great.
Yeah, you listen more, talk less. I'm just saying.
Yes. So, I will say through what I've experienced is that I have been experiencing a very big shift in my awareness and my consciousness. And as a spiritual woman, a queen, as well as a teacher, I take more time out away from life, so to speak. And I think this has been a new experience for Ian as well as for myself, because I've never had someone who would at least try to understand that, right now I need some time to be very still and be very quiet and focus more on my spirituality than anything else. And he's been very patient with that. But I say all that to say is that it's not easy. If we come, from having toxic relationships in the past, a lot of times we take on our mind, the mind chatter begins to tell us things that are not true, but we can make it seem real if you base it off of a past experience and not really just allowing the person in front of you just seeing them for who they are. So I think we've both had to overcome these old ideas and impressions that have been left behind from old experiences, and really just see each other, just show up for each other, and allow us to be whatever we are in this ever-changing landscape of our experience. So I think more than anything, we wanted to kind of share that. Like, him and I are very loving to one another, and I love to have the physical intimacy, and yet we've hit a moment in the past couple weeks where I've just really had to hold my energy, and that was something different, I think, for you, Ian. Would you like to share what that was?
I mean,
what that felt
I've been
like?
celibate before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't too traumatic, but I think it also made communication a little stronger.
Yeah.
When it's not purely physical interaction or intimacy. So with that, I mean, I love it. I love her process. I love watching her read books. We started reading the book together.
Yes.
You know, because I'm just like, you know what? I got to be involved more here somehow. I see the journey, so I got to throw myself in there. So, you know, with that, it's like, you know, sometimes you got to do that. You have to, you know, all right, but in the right way, you got to apply yourself in the right, you know. So, and that's why it's good to listen, you know, because a lot of the times they'll tell you, you got to be able to listen to your partner, and you know, actually listen, fellas. You know, when she's just talking to you, and I know it sounds like one topic to the other. I know how it goes. Your attention span will drift a little bit. You will drift a little bit. You might go in and out. You're gonna think about something else, but it's all right. It's all right. Get back to what she's listening to what she's saying. It's very interesting. And also, just help yourself. Just help yourself. You know, because a lot of you that are thinking physical, you're thinking of physical reward later on. It's good to listen. You know, you might help yourself, you know, by listening more, because it's just, she was going to give it to you, but you weren't listening. And now it's just, the whole idea's out the window. You just killed it. Now just help yourself. Listening is up there in priority when it comes to that. You help yourself. But even though it shouldn't be about just strictly that, you know,
well, if we talk about the strengthening of our own, like, intimacy is beyond the physical act. You know, this is intimacy, what we have
absolutely
here. You know, us being able, for me to be able to take down these walls of protection that I've put up, which is all based on fear. So, you know, for those of you that watch my show, I talk about there is fear and there's love. Those are the only two things. So anything that like anger is under fear. You know, anything that keeps me from being able to communicate to him heart to heart, that is all fear. So I want to experience love. I don't know anyone who doesn't want to experience love. And so part of that is building up spiritual and emotional intimacy. That is very, very important, to have a safe space. So Ian and I have a safe space with one another, and it doesn't mean that we don't hit challenging moments. Obviously we hit a moment, but we've been able to work through it in a way of like, how can we in a healthy manner get through this experience together, and how can I support you, and how can you support me? And again, like he said, the communication has improved quite drastically. I mean, we have gone from I don't know, just having difficulty in understanding one another to really getting very clear on what our goals are individually as well as collectively. A lot of our goals actually line up, but without this break and really just having more conversations that go deeper, and even taking the time to read this book together, which is one that is pulling out all kinds of rewarding ideas for both of us, you know. So just really taking the time to do that has been important, and it's different. You know, I've had moments where I think I've attempted in the past to try to get clear on what I was feeling. Like, I have all these emotions, right? Because sensuality and a physical sensuality brings up a lot of things. It can bring up past trauma. It can bring up fear. Not that we don't enjoy the loving aspect of it, but if it brings it up, do we dismiss it and let it come in and be toxic to the relationship without the other person knowing? Or do we sit with that and try to get super clear and even explain to the other individual, as I've explained to Ian, what I felt, what is coming up? He knows it's not him, so he's not, he's learning not, don't internalize it, because you're a good man.
Yeah, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
A lot of, when you can't take everything personal with your partner. And, I'm not saying we all have mistakes. We all have mistakes, absolutely. So I don't want to paint it to seem like we're perfect at all. So at the end of the day, you just have to love the process, love the journey. Each person, you may, when you guys meet, you may not be at the right tempo. Your tempos have to line up if you guys, if it's, especially the more time you spend with each other, you have to leave time to miss somebody or let them miss you. Spending a lot of time with somebody is very strenuous. Very strenuous. Sometimes you need a break from each other. Just saying, you got to give them time to miss you. You got to go about your stuff. You got to, go about what makes you happy. You can't just be so, because it'll drain you. It'll drain each other. So, giving it that time, it's finding your own balance. What makes you happy.
Yes.
Before even, and both of you should be doing it to find out what makes each other happy. And if you guys really make it happen, make it work, all right, cool. But don't put so much pressure on trying to force something to be at where it's not. Sometimes you just got to let it be. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So,
well, these are moments that help us grow, and that's the whole point, is that we've been able to show up in a very loving way to one another, which I think I haven't always been available to do that fully with anybody in a long time. Like just fully, here I am, and I'm not going to worry about what's going to happen. Again, trusting the process, because what I know is that if I show up with love and in love, then I will gain whatever I need from this experience. And it's not about, I got to protect myself. It's like, I want to lean into it because I want to heal these areas in which need to be healed. And honestly, Ian has offered me an opportunity to heal places in me in which I don't know how it could happen, honestly, without having a mate whom is, I would say, breaking down these barriers of resistance and places in which I thought someone would hurt me. He's not doing it. And without me being open to receive his love in those places, I don't know if I would be able to heal that on my own. And I'm not saying that you can't. You could. I'm just saying what he's offered me is the ability to heal in places in which we're very sore, very, I don't want to say completely broken, but they were definitely tender places. And I'm very grateful. And when I say places, I'm just saying like an experience that I've had in the past in which there's a similarity in something that's happening. Maybe we're having a bit of a challenge or conflict. And automatically my mind says, this is just like when such and such did that. Well, instead of doing that, I may express to him, this reminds me of this. This is why I'm feeling all this fear. This is why I got super quiet. And then he's able to talk me through that experience. Like, okay, I get that. Well, this is me though, right? And he shows up over and over again and gives me time to heal in those places, which have been absolutely necessary. And through this, I've been able to unlock a lot of creativity within myself that has been blocked for many, many years. And I'm a very creative person. And so it's like, the best thing that I can say is that when we heal these places that have been harmed or broken or hurt, when we heal them in a very sacred space, we're able to unlock a lot of the jewels and gems that have been in a place within us. And so I get a little teary-eyed because I really feel it. Like, this is real for me, and I'm grateful to be able to share it with you all. And I'm wishing the absolute best for all of you to find someone, or maybe if you're in a relationship, I encourage you and invite you to experience one another in a different, safe place, in a very sacred place. You have anything to add, my love?
No, my baby.
So I guess that's it for today, and I'm just glad that you guys joined us today. And we hope that you continue to journey forward with us. Ian has his own show, Ian A.
Today.
Yes. So please make sure that you go over there and support him. Like, subscribe, share, to comment to this one as well as his. And we look forward to being able to share more of our journey with you all. May the peace of the divine be with you, and may the divine guide us as we move forward. Namaste.
Peace.